bidhaa isiyoharibika kwa urahisi na itakayodumu kwa muda mrefu zaidi. Dumu Zas, mabati inayodumu kudumu. Bidhaa bora kutoka Mabati Rolling Mills.
This is KTN News.
Do they have including the senator who's ditching parliament for the county's top job?
Sio lazima. Mimi nitaenda ofisi yangu boss.
But the sitting governor, who has made headlines for his ongoing battles with government agencies, has vowed to strongly defend his seat.
Mutaki sawa. But hii ni backwardness. Na some of you are just watching.
As the political race hots up, Mombasa residents are raising concerns over the development of the county. Politics of the port have left many confused. Garbage is choking up the streets and the war on drugs is overwhelming authorities at the port county. Has the governor's personal problems derailed his work at the county? Does the national government have an agenda in Mombasa? How much has Mombasa gained from devolution?
Good evening from county number 001, the county of Mombasa. I am Ben Kitili and we are here to cover the ODM party primaries that will be held here in the 5 counties of Mombasa, that is Mombasa of the coast, Mombasa, Kwale, Kilifi, Tana River and Lamu. On Saturday the 22nd, they were postponed they were supposed to be held today. That is the 19th day of April 2017. But we're here to talk to a man who will not be worrying very much about the ODM nominations here in the county of Mombasa. He is arguably the most recognizable name in Kenyan politics today. He is a man who has been christened the Sultan of the Kenyan coast. That is the governor number 001, the governor of the county of Mombasa, Hassan Joho. We shall be talking to him about a myriad of things. Just a nice chat as we in the run-up to the general election. Thank you, Mr. Governor, for joining us.
Thank you.
A lot has been happening in this county. You have been in the news almost on a daily basis for the past few months or so. Are you a governor under siege? What's your take on it?
Well, I would probably want to ask you, why do you ask such question? What informs you to ask if I am a governor under siege? You certainly must have a reason that I really do not need to explain. But you know what we have been going through. I mean, it's in the public domain. The citizens of this country can see what really has been happening over the period. But I have made a choice to move on with my life and focus on what needs to be done for Mombasa and by and large for the country. So whatever is happening for me really does not change my life.
Be that as it may, Mr. Governor, how do you explain the frosty relationship people in Mombasa would like to know between you as a person and the national government and its agencies?
Well, first of all, there are many issues that I have been raising over the period. And I am sure if I was not in this position as governor, I would not have raised those issues. And I believe strongly these are pertinent issues that affect the lives of the people of this region. And therefore, somebody needs to voice them. Somebody needs to air them. Somebody needs to discuss them. And for me, the debate is not between me and national government. It is what needs to be done right so that the people can progress, the people can prosper, and we can create opportunities for the people. For example, the first issue I raised with the national government was matters land. And the very latest issue I've been talking about is the economic sabotage. And I want to pick matters that affect the lives of the people, particularly here in Mombasa. I have raised an issue of standard gauge railway, and I'll pick randomly the kind of discussion I want us to engage on the contract known as pay or pick.
Right.
The Kenya Ports Authority have signed an agreement to secure the funding or the loan of the standard gauge railway that, in my own opinion, and this can be verified, is that they will take away opportunities of employment, even though Mombasa County probably is one of the highest counties in terms of unemployment rate.
Right.
But the national government continues to, in my own opinion, sabotage economically the people of Mombasa. Pay or pick is an agreement signed by the Kenya Ports Authority. Issue number one that I have raised is that where is the involvement? Why should it be that Kenya Ports Authority are made to guarantee a process that never took part?
All right.
They have a contract that says the Kenya Ports Authority shall nominate consignment without consultation of the consignees or the consigners for that matter. And this is in relation to the conversation I've had over the period over the dry port facility that has been earmarked for Naivasha. And for me, that is an important issue because it affects so many lives of the people of Mombasa.
Mr. Governor,
And it's important that it is understood.
yes.
We are looking at the entire port-related fraternity.
All right.
This clearing and forwarding, the hospitality industries, the warehousing industry, the truckers, which is the transporters, the drivers. Mombasa is a county that we have over 10,000 trucks every single day that leave the port. So that will all of a sudden change, and there will be closure.
The issue
so for me, it is important that
yes.
I raise them,
yes.
and that is, if it is seen in any way that national government kind of don't like
right.
what I say,
yeah.
I have no.
That issue of the Standard Gauge Railway and the issue of the dry ports in Naivasha, you are talking for the people on behalf of the people of Mombasa. Many analysts would see you as talking as if it is only the people of Mombasa that matter. As much as
No.
they matter,
You see,
the SGR
you
and
see-
the dry port.
you see what happens is that there is
Is it
nowhere,
a
there is nowhere,
disadvantage to the whole
there
of
is
Kenya?
nowhere in the world
Yes.
that the operations of the port is moved away from the port area. It has never happened. I can tell you, and I can challenge anybody to bring
There's
that
a dry
forward.
port in Dubai.
There's a dry port in Dubai. Look at the vicinity between the port of Dubai and, in fact, there is no dry port in Dubai. I'm very well versed with the operations in Dubai because I have had a business relation with some of the Dubai companies. You're looking at the dry port at Jebel Ali, for example. It sits within the port of Jebel Ali. And for this one, it just won't work. What it means for the people of Mombasa
Right.
is that clearing and forwarding, we're moving away from Mombasa to Naivasha. How many people are employed today in the clearing and forwarding industry? The hospitality industry, which means we host the port users
All right.
in Mombasa, the taxi drivers. I mean, it is the entire population that works somehow in port-related business that will lose their livelihood.
Fair enough.
That, for me, as governor, I will not allow to
All right,
happen.
fair enough. These stakeholders will be thanking you for that. There's a question I want to ask you, Mr. Governor. You are a very well-known politician, an experienced one, but you also have been known as a very successful and astute businessman. Has your position as businessman affected your performance as a public officer?
Well, when you get into leadership, there are certain choices you have to make in life. And I have made my choice. I want to focus in serving the people of Mombasa. And first of all, as a matter of priority, look after their interest. And therefore, there has to be some level of sacrifice that I have to personally undertake. And I have made that choice.
All right.
Whether I suffer economically, in terms of business, that is another story for another day. But for now, as long as I'm the elected governor of Mombasa, I must, first of all, ensure I represent what is just and fair to the people of Mombasa.
Do you believe, Kenyans would like to know this, that the president and his government have targeted you unfairly or your businesses?
Well, it depends on how you're looking at it. But I can tell you today, for example, I am the only governor out of the 47 governors that is not allocated security for that matter. You have come to my house, you did not see a single security personnel. I don't move around with any bodyguard like my colleagues do. I think I'm the only governor who has his accounts frozen. And nobody has bothered to even explain to me, not even one letter from Kenya Revenue Authority, to inform me the kind of investigations that they are undertaking. I have just been informed by my banks that my accounts are frozen. That for me is not normal. They are up to something. They have victimized a lot of institutions that seem to be affiliated to myself.
Right.
They have victimized friends of mine, companies that work with me. I just don't want to be seen like a crybaby, but I can tell you there are many, many people suffering because of their affiliation. So Jubilee government have made their choice of how they want to conduct their politics. I have decided to live with it, and certainly it's just a matter of time. I'm praying and I'm hoping 8th of August, Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto will be going home.
Is it personal between you and the president?
I have nothing personal. I don't need to have anything personal with him. I have never had a business transaction with him. We are not related in any way. We are leaders elected by the people. And I think I need to make it clear that my focus is really about the people. And I don't think I want to engage the president personally, because for me, leadership goes beyond personal interest.
Final question on this, Mr. Governor. Many people have said that in your very well-voiced, kutetea watu Mombasa, you have not respected the president like many other governors have done. What do you say to such?
Well, if what I said, by the way, and I'm going to repeat here, because it all began with the visits at Waitiki. And I said I have never seen anywhere else in the country where squatters are forced or are made to buy their own parcels of land. And I made it clear that it is only fair that the people of Mombasa, or basically the people of Likoni, at Waitiki, be treated fairly, just like any other place in this country. And that is where it all began. But if that is seen to be disrespect towards the presidency, then I want to make it clear here I have no apology to make. The other issue was on the launch of projects. I mean, I needed to be clear. If a project is old, by all means, my job is to represent the people of Mombasa. And I only said this project is undertaken, first of all, by a grant from World Bank. And it is an old one. It began in 2010. And I was a member of parliament in Kisauni, so I was privy at that time to the information in terms of planning of the project and execution. So I made that point very clear. And again, if that is seen to be disrespectful, I want to say here again, I have no apology to make. If I have another opportunity to represent and defend and ask what I believe is rightfully for the people of Mombasa, I'm going to do it again.
How long can you go on, Mr. Governor, being your security withdrawn, as you say, being stopped on the Nyali Bridge so that you don't attend the president's, and you're an elected governor of this republic?
That is the question, and that is the conversation all of us must have. Why do you need to stop a governor from attending a public function? Who says that I have to be invited personally by the president to attend a public function? Why do you even announce it, that the president is asking members of public to come to a function? For me, first of all, it was important for my being there. One, I need to represent my people. Two, I needed to raise issues. I wanted to, for example, say, let us have a conversation between the county government and national government on creating a bridge so that we have sustainable solution for the people of Likoni. You can't, every year in, year out, have the same conversation on how we are going to be repairing old ferries
Right.
and buying new ferries.
All right.
I had a proposal. The French government had offered to fund, by way of grant, a study, a feasibility study, and possible design for a bridge. The only thing we needed to get from the national government is a letter of no objection. Right. But in return, they objected to it. So for me, these are pertinent issues that affect the people of this county, and I must air them.
All right.
So,
and we'll talk about
so it's not personal, but
right.
I believe strongly that as a leader, I should be able to freely speak on matters that affect the lives of the people.
And what's your take on the words that he used that you wanted to follow him around?
I can tell you today, my brother, if I was not governor, I would never dare go anywhere where the president is. And let me also say it this way. If the president was not Uhuru Kenyatta, it will still remain the same. So I went there because I'm governor of Mombasa, and not
right.
as Hassan Joho.
All right.
Yes.
I want us to talk about other issues and also talk about the politics of this county of Mombasa that you want to seek re-election for. But let's finish on your troubles over the past few
I don't know
years.
whether to call them troubles, because I know
You don't look them
other leaders
them
have
as troubles.
passed through
All right.
worse turbulence over the period.
Okay.
I mean, you look at what, for example, Raila Odinga and others had to go through to ensure we had multi-party in this country. Some of them, like, look at the state Matiba is in right now. Look at Khalid Balala, for example. They ruined his life. But I'm okay, I'm healthy,
Right.
I'm able to do what I do every day.
All right.
And I will always go back to the constitution of this country. My protection as a leader and governor squarely is embedded in the constitution, and I will stand for what is right.
Let's get this out of the way. What's your take on it's a case that is in court, so I don't know how much we can speak about it. The issue of your grades and all this. What's your take on the whole conversation?
Well, of course, we're in court, and I wouldn't want to get to the detail of the matter, but I have a petition in court. This petition squarely would determine how we're moving forward. But this allows me, as a citizen of this country, in line with the Constitution, to be able to check to be able to put the national government in check. And you know very well, judiciary is an independent arm of government. So when decisions are made, you are able to challenge them legally. And that is why I have opted to go to court for that petition, which will be heard and, of course, determined. I don't want to comment further than what I have said on matter that is before the courts.
All right.
But I am optimistic that, of course, judiciary is non-political and independent, and they will hear us. They will hear our side of the story, and, of course, the national government of the side of the story, and the decision will be made.
You did respond after this issue came out, of course, and addressed it in a very mature way. But do you think, as a governor of the county of Mombasa, that your academic credentials are not important to the people?
Well, I didn't say that, and I want to make it very clear. I actually gave my story as a person, and I narrated basically the kind of life I lived from the 1980 to 88 to 89 up to 1993. And I actually told the public of what I had to go through to get my education. And you will rarely see a person that at that age of probably 15, 16, 17, maybe up to 18, had to do a job to pay their own school fees. And I did that. And I said I am proud of my progress because I've been able to transform a D- to success. And I am telling other Kenyans who never had that opportunity in their earlier days that for you, it is not the end of the world. You can still navigate through your life to success. And that is the point here. I said I suffered during my younger days because of poverty. I worked, my brother Ben, I worked after school. And sometimes I had to leave the school early so that I can be able to go and earn a livelihood somehow, to be able to feed not only myself and a few other people around me. And most importantly is that I paid part of my school fees because of working after school hours. Many people in this country that are silent go through the same stories. And I gave an example. There are many leaders that have had a better opportunity. There are some leaders who probably their parents would have paid their education by one check from kindergarten to PhD if they wanted to. But for me, I struggled. And I am proud to say I'm an MBA student now. I walked the journey. And it surprises that some people play ignorant. You know, that he had a D minus. So what if you have a D minus when you can progress? You know, there is opportunity for everybody, immaterial of your background. For as long as you make a choice as a person that I want to move forward with my life, you can succeed. Right. And that is my story. And I'm going to tell Kenyans that for you, when you did not do well at all levels, it should never be the end of the road for you. You can be able to change that and better your life. And for me, I have come from very, very humble background, and I thank my God. I say every day, Alhamdulillah, I am now the governor and the first governor of Mombasa. It hasn't been an easy journey.
Do you believe you're going to be on the ballot paper on the 8th of August?
I can tell you, for as long as this country is governed by this current dispensation, constitutional dispensation, I am certain I'm going to be in the ballot. Even though I know they're doing all that they can to intimidate institutions, to intimidate individuals, to use the police, to use the EACC, to try and block me from being in the ballot. But take it to the bank, my brother. Nobody can take away what rightfully belongs to me.
All right. Thank you. We're speaking to the Governor of the County of Mombasa, Governor Hassan Joho, a Deputy Party Leader of the ODM party. After the quick commercial break, when we return, we'll speak